Welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, in helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's going to be your monthly Tarotscope readings for the month of March 2022. And remember, you're going to want to watch two videos, one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. Now, if you're new to the channel, the reason I use the North Node in the readings as opposed to your sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant is because it's recognized in astrology that the North Node is your life's purpose, what you were born to do and accomplish in this lifetime. So I find it's much more relevant across the board for people's lives. So let's get started on the readings. Okay, so this is your monthly Tarotscope reading for March 2022 for everybody with their North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house. So I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents everything from the first half of the month to the middle, 15th, and then this side represents the 16th to the end of the month. So this month I also did a book divination like last month in the great North Node book, Astrology for the Soul by Jan Spiller. And what came up for you, North Nodes in Aquarius and or the 11th house, was creating win-win situations in your life. Creating win-win situations in your life. And for a lot of you, I'm thinking that, okay, look here, there's a lot of things, for all of you, there's at least one aspect of your life that needs change and transformation. And for some of you, it could be more than one area of life, but definitely at least one area that needs change and transformation. And that could be causing some stagnation, or you're not really, it's not really like moving forward like you would like it. And that could be, through work, career, friends, family relationships, or love relationships. But some aspect of your life, needs that. Now, what does it mean to create, win-win situations? It means that when we are faced with decisions that we have to make in our life, whether in any aspect of our life, we're supposed to look at, okay, what is advantageous to me and what is advantageous to the other person. Now, there's some people in life that actually are too selfless and actually give too much and don't even give enough to themselves. And then there's others that it's like, well, I need or want this, and I'm sorry if it doesn't really, if the other person doesn't get as much out of it. But with your North Node in the 11th house or Aquarius, when you begin to create relationships and actually think about, okay, what is the best way to go in what direction is best for not only myself but for the other person, it really opens up your life and you receive so much more than you would if you weren't looking for that win-win situation. Like there's some area of your life, and I don't know where it is. For each of you, it's different, okay? But there's some area that if you look at it and you readjust it, you could make adjustments to make it equitable and fair, so both people are gaining from it, or both sides, are gaining. One of the things that, your superpower is having your North Node in Leo and or the 5th house, is you have this amazing ability for creativity, and being like, a lot of you are maybe like multi-talented. You have a lot of different talents, and even some of them could be like hidden talents, but a lot of you have this in your life. And you're used to receiving a lot, like from your past lives. You're used to receiving a lot. But what came up big time also when I did that book divination, besides win-win, was the word humanitarianism. Becoming, a charitable person with others, like being able to kind of give freely. Because if you're feeling any sort of stuckness or stagnation in your life, where, in whatever aspect, health or anything, it has to do with that, with like, kind of like the more you give and open up, the more you get. And I feel like for some of you, it's going to be money and finances. It's going to be like, things that are in your life, like property, money, finances. For others, it's going to be like relationship type things. But this energy like wants to free up. I feel like there is, this first half of the month, there is going to be a person that you might have to deal with that is difficult. It could be very difficult. And I don't know where it is in your life, whether you're related to them, or whether you work with them or work for them or something. But there's a situation where the person is very difficult, and you're going to be given the opportunity to reevaluate where it is you want to go. You may have to give up and compromise to make it equitable, or to make it favorable for that other person. And so like, I feel like this situation, it's almost going to be like, it could have been developing for a while, or it could just develop in the beginning of March, but it could feel like this conflict energy. But what you want to do is, if you can think of like, okay, I see what this person wants. So what is a win-win situation? It doesn't mean you give the person everything that they want, or it doesn't mean you get whatever you want. Creating a win-win is, okay, let's like make this fair, so I get this, you get this. That's kind of a situation that I'm seeing somewhere in your life. And you could see how that could play out in, all sorts of ways, career and like personal relationships. But that's kind of what I'm seeing. And it does revolve around like money, finances, property, any sort of like things of value. Anything of value is kind of what I'm seeing. And so that's the opportunity there. And when you do that, it might feel weird at first, because it's like, you might feel like you're compromising too much or giving up too much. But part of creating win-win situations is, seeing like, okay, well, I'm getting this and this person deserves that. So you're just kind of creating, it's basically like the other word that came up besides humanitarianism is, equality, and that's kind of what a win-win situation is. Win-win. It's like equal for you, equal for me type of a thing. And so, now, and that could mean too, maybe this person, okay, and the things you're dealing with, maybe they're trying to take too much, and you may have to stand your ground that way. You may have to point out like, okay, you're getting this and I'm getting this. And as I said, this could be in any aspect of your life, especially even in personal relationships, okay? So there's this play. You might not even have to give up. They might be, or give up that much. They may be trying to take too much. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here. And when you do that, you're going to see that things really open up. We're talking about like an open up of energy and like open up from being like stagnated. The second half of the month, I'm really feeling good that a lot of you, and I'm seeing this a lot for a lot of the north nodes, I feel like the second half of March is a super transformative time in the sense of a lot of people passing tests that they've gone through. And again, you have the Two of Cups here. This is like, you know, sharing emotionally, like equality, okay? Two of Cups. We have the Four of Wands here, okay? So celebration, but we're seeing these, you know, these even numbers, 2 and 2, 1 and 1, you know, and so there's this equality. I feel a lot of you are going to be, you know, kind of headed in that direction. Now, this second half of the month, a good use for your creativity is in helping to find creative ways to go through life in order to help other people in situations, in creating these win-win situations. So in using that creativity, that's into like kind of helping others. Really powerful. I mean, you've got the World card here, and I feel like a lot of you, there's still like more work to be done, but a lot of you are on this real verge of, and you know, we're here at the, you know, beginning of the age of Aquarius. You have your North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house. And I feel like a lot of you are on the verge of really making huge like breakthroughs, you know, in your life. But there could still be some more work to be done. But remember the second half of the month with this situation, there's a good use to your creativity, and it is in creating these equality situations, you know, in your life, and these win-win situations. Also, for some of you, I do feel like if this had to do, any of this has to do with like love and relationships, I feel like this second half of the month, there's a lot more, because that's what happens when you know, one of the things that you get more closeness in your life, you get more love, okay? Because love and heart energy is super important to people with these placements, with their South Node in Leo and South Node in the 5th house. And when you do this, what you gain, like don't think about it like you're losing anything. You're gaining the world, literally gaining the world, because when you go out of your way to make things equitable and make win-win situations happen in all aspects of your life, it just brings people closer to you. It brings material success toward you. You're just getting that flow toward you. And that's where you can use your creativity. Creative ways of making these win-win situations, you know. That's like, use that superpower you have, you know, in that way. But I am seeing for a lot of you, regarding love relationships, really good things. If you don't currently have a relationship, I feel like there could be, especially those of you that are kind of passing these tests and that are on your timeline and going toward your North Node, I feel like really great success as far as closeness and relationships go. So yeah, really good month and very, very transformative. So go out there and be strong, create win-win situations. And again, I hope this reading resonated with you and that you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing, spending some time. Much love, much appreciation. If you'd like a personal reading, there'll be a link in the description box below. So we'll see you again. Many blessings.